And this will make you instantly 100 times attractive without money, surgery, products, nothing. It costs nothing but your time. The most unattractive thing someone can do is be a victim. Just be like, woe is me, life is unfair, things always happen to me bad, so on and so forth, and just living in this cycle of victim mentality.
You mock my pain!
Life is pain, Highness. Anyone who says differently is selling something.
Life is pain. It is. And it's so true, that quote. Like, if someone tells you differently, they're selling you something. You know, life is not all sunshine and rainbows. Things happen. Life sucks. Life is hard. Get a helmet. But it's what you do with these things that life throws at you. And it can be small, you know, in the relative scale of life, you know, someone breaking up with you, all the way to cancer, you know, or a death in the family, or anything big and traumatic. It doesn't matter, big and small. It is what you do. And I'm not saying that you can't grieve or be sad or process these traumatic events or traumatic happenings. Yes, process those, grieve those, complain, and let people know how you're feeling, but do not live in this cycle. Think about a time someone told you something horrible in their life. Perhaps they have a partner who has an ex and they have to be in their life and they are horrible for XYZ, but it's not a one-time thing. It's a constant need to complain, see this person as bad, me as good, and how could they do that to me on a constant basis. You know, people we meet are a mirror reflection of ourselves, of how we love ourselves, how we hate ourselves, how we treat others, how we treat ourselves, our insecurities, our traumas. It is literally a mirror right there. Anything you like in a person is also deep inside you. Anything that you see that you hate or triggers or just pisses you off in a person, that is also in you. Why is that triggering you so much? For example, a very traumatic experience I've had is I've had a miscarriage, and I used to blame everyone else. I blamed my really good friend who came to visit me. I blamed her for not being supportive, even though she was literally being supportive. I blamed the other person that it took to, create this issue. I blamed them. It was all their fault, their problem. But I took a part in this, and I blamed so many people, and I blamed my problems on why I'm the way I am. It's because this big thing happened to me. And yes, it is a big thing that happened to me. And no, it doesn't diminish the severity or intensity of having something like a miscarriage. Like, that was one of the most traumatic, painful, life-wrenching experience I've had. But I'm not going around blaming people anymore and pointing fingers. I started pointing the finger at me. How did I end up in that position? What got me to that position? Why did this happen? What choices did I make? Instead of blaming others, I looked at my part to play in the story. And I found that I had a pretty big part to play in my story. It's realizing that no one is coming to save you. No one is going to shake you out of this victim mentality. It has to be your own personal choice to start to do the inner work. That's why this thing does not cost you money. It's not a product you need to buy. It's not really a book you need to read. It is free. But it does require time, effort, and energy, and also a sense of vulnerability to look at yourself, to look deep in yourself and uncover those wounds, uncover those shadows, and really look at it and be like, did I have a part to play in this? Even if it wasn't, even if it was something horrible like being abused or anything like that, obviously not something that you can typically control, but you can control the story you tell today. Instead of blaming that person, what can you do with what you've learned from that situation? Can you use that energy and harness it and transform it into something good, into something educational, into love, into you're never going to treat someone like that, into you're going to tell your story so other people know? How do you take yourself out of the victim mindset and transform it, transmute it into something good? Because it's so exhausting to point fingers and blame and use your energy for woe is me, everything's horrible and life sucks. But can you take a look at yourself and transmute that energy into something beautiful, into something that you can help others? And it's not easy. It's not easy to look at your shadows and to look at what has happened in your past and transmute it into good. But I strongly believe it is one of the most attractive features about a person, someone who takes responsibility for their life and transforms it into something good and beautiful and blissful. Another example is me personally. I wasn't raised in a household that knew about finances, talked about finances. I always heard we were poor, we couldn't afford things, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't know about investing. I didn't know about money. I didn't know about savings or stocks or bonds or 401ks or anything like that. And I started to learn about money and finances. I started watching YouTube videos. I started reading books. I started reading more money mindset books, digging up that emotional, subconscious, thought pattern I have about money that I've learned from my parents and how they handled their money. And so instead of me saying I'm broke, I'm poor, I can't afford that, I don't know how to save, I don't know what investing looks like, I decided to stop using a victim mindset and I started to educate myself. And now I am not afraid of money. I know where to put my money. I know how much money I have. And if I get more money, I know exactly where I'm going to put it. I have a plan and money isn't scary and I feel educated and I feel smart and it feels good to understand something that's not that complicated. It's not that complicated. Once you realize, you're like, oh, not that complicated. It stems down to, working on your self-worth. Who are you? Do you believe in yourself? What can you create? How can you become better? You are responsible for your life. No one's gonna come save you. I used to have this horrible mindset that as soon as I met my perfect, partner, that they would be rich and they would supply my life with money and then I'd have freedom to be able to do all these things that I want to do. Why? Why am I waiting to start my life when I have full control and it is my responsibility to create that for myself? That's a massive pressure to put on a partner. Be you have to be all these things, plus you have to be rich and be my sugar daddy. What? No, no. Though that would be nice. See, one easy way to kind of start to help shift your mindset is instead of saying sorry all the time, say thank you. Instead of saying, sorry I was late, say, oh, thank you for waiting for me. Because you know what that does? Instead of being like, sorry, I'm horrible, I'm a loser, I've lost track of time, you then make your friend feel bad and they're like, oh no, it's okay, it's okay. Whereas if you say, oh, thank you for waiting for me, I was running late, they say, and it comes off more positive, and they say, oh, no worries, it's okay, no problem. It's a much more positive exchange, isn't it? Overall, I want you to start empowering you because you have what it takes. It's in your grasp. You can do it. You can change your life around. It may not be an instant, oh, all of a sudden, like, I'm rich, I won the lottery, and now I'm moving to, a beach town. Like, no, it's gonna take some time to crawl your ass out of the hole, but it is 100% in your grasp if you decide that you're ready. You're ready to stop being a victim, and you're ready to start reclaiming your life and making better choices and educating yourself and becoming like your true, authentic, badass you. And that's going to make you so much more attractive to everyone. People are going to be drawn to you like a moth to the flame because you're embodying this incredible power and energy, and you're not in this sad, woe is me victim mentality. You're now taking that and you're using it. You're transforming that. It is now your power. Your victimhood is now your power, but it is up to you. Are you ready to do the work? That's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to give the video a like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to hear from you down below. Does this trigger you? I hope so, because that means you're ready for change. Bye.